Welcome to Shawneetown 1929. I'm Shannon Shu, the Curator of Collections, and I'm here today to talk to you about our typewriter repair shop and the typewriter. The invention of the typewriter cannot be credited to any one person or company. Many different tinkerers and inventors worked on the mechanization of writing for over hundreds of years. In 1873, the first practical typewriter was introduced to the market, and over the course of the next few decades, tinkerers added the shift key and number keys, making it a far more practical machine. Typewriters manufactured by different companies all looked different, but by about 1910, they all shared very similar features. Those standardized features include the platen, which is what you roll the paper on, the ribbon spool, which transfers the ribbon from one side to the other, the type bar, which holds the molded letters, and the QWERTY keyboard, which we still use today. A typewriter functions by pressing a key, which raises the type bar with the molded letter, striking the ribbon, and leaving the letter on the paper. The ink is permanent, so typist accuracy was very important. When a typist made a mistake, there were very few ways to correct it before the invention of whiteout and corrective tape. In the 1920s, a typist would have had to use an ink eraser, would have had to X through the mistake, or simply start it over. The most notable feature of the typewriter is the QWERTY keyboard. The QWERTY keyboard was designed to keep the type bars from getting tangled when you typed. So letters that you use frequently or are frequently paired together are far apart. For instance, S and T are far apart, as are T and H. So when you hit the letters, they don't become entangled. The QWERTY keyboard is so ingrained in what we do today that we still use that keyboard on our home computers, our laptops, and our smartphones, even though we no longer worry about colliding type bars. The typewriter is one of the most iconic objects from the late 19th and early 20th centuries. It represents industrialization, mechanization, inventiveness, and entrepreneurship. It also represents workplace inequality. When the typewriter was first introduced, businesses were slow to adopt it. They were concerned that customers wouldn't respond well to receiving a typewritten note versus a handwritten note. However, that fear was short-lived, and by 1900, over 145,000 typewriters were manufactured each year. By 1909, there were 89 separate typewriter manufacturers. The typewriter was very quickly taking over the business world. In the mid-1800s, most clerical positions were filled by men. As the typewriter was introduced into the workforce, more and more women took over those jobs. In 1920, according to the U.S. Census, 500,000 women were secretaries and typists. By 1930, that number rose even higher, and 96% of those jobs were filled by women. However, this entry into the workforce was a double-edged sword. Women could work outside the home, but at great cost. Women were often paid less than men for doing the same work, and they found it very difficult to move into higher-paying jobs. Married women were excluded from the workforce, and single women were fired once they married. There was very little room for advancement, and in the 1920s, if a woman started her career as a typist, she frequently ended her career as a typist. It wasn't until the 1960s and 70s that women were able to escape the steno pool. As businesses and individuals adapted to and adopted typewriters, the need to keep them in good working order emerged. In order to remain operational, typewriters needed to be cleaned of eraser shavings, dust, and dirt on a regular basis. They also need to have their moving parts oiled and their broken parts replaced. Offices that had hundreds and hundreds of machines often added repairmen to their staff to make sure that their machines were constantly kept in working order. In smaller communities like Shawnee, individuals like Joseph Yachts began repairing and refurbishing typewriters. During World War I, there was a slow in the manufacture of new typewriters, creating a need for older machines to be kept in good working order. In 1915, seeing an opportunity, Joe Yachts started his typewriter repair business. It's unclear whether Mr. Yachts had any formal repair training, although those courses did exist. What's more likely is he was a handy sort that was able to just fix mechanical things. Joe Yachts advertised his business in farm journals and newspapers. He sold refurbished and rebuilt machines through the mail, offering a guarantee and an installment payment plan. In the mid-1920s, his typewriters sold for $10 and up. Typewriters weren't Mr. Yachts' only business. In addition to the repair business, he also ran a hatchery, was the typist for the Shawnee City Council, the town constable, helped his brother in construction, owned rental property, and sold real estate. Mr. Yachts was a classic entrepreneur. To learn more about Joseph Yachts and the iconic typewriter, come visit us at Shawneetown 1929. For more information about the museum, please visit our website at www.shawneetown.org. Thank you for your time today, and I hope you come visit us soon.